Tire Express offers friendly and professional service backed by years of experience in the industry, and they're right down the road from you. Stop by 39 Tire Express at 7020 Northwest 39th Expressway today and see why 39 Tire and Express is the go-to option for tire and oil change needs. Remember, it's all local at 39 Tire, 7020 Northwest 39th Expressway, and keep an eye out for their new hours coming soon. Tire, oil. All-American Pizza at 501 South Mustang Road in Yukon is the home of deliciousness with tasty handmade pizzas, homemade ranch, and one-of-a-kind, not sold anywhere else, gyros. Lunch, dinner, feasts. Stop by and eat. You'll find friendly staff, great deals, and an Oklahoma original menu crafted with 100% natural ingredients. Bring the whole family to this family-owned and operated restaurant and get a taste of their mini lunch and dinner specials. Call 405-324-5551 for All-American Pizza in Yukon. Say aloha to your new favorite shaved ice and coffee shop, Aloha Shaved Ice. On the corner of Northwest 39th Expressway and Council. Aloha brings the summer vibes no matter what the weather looks like outside. Their year-round shaved ice means you get to enjoy classic flavors like grape, strawberry, and cotton candy, while their extensive selection of coffee complements that chill flavor perfectly. Looking for something different? Aloha has specialty drinks for days. Try the Banana Split, Fuzzy Monkey, Spider-Man, or Shrek. And trust us when we say that's only a small part of their specialty lineup. Sharp-eyed visitors may also notice Aloha's local support and drinks like the Bethany Broncos, SNU Crimson Storm, SCU Eagles, and Boomer Sooner. You can enjoy games like chess or Candyland while you dine in the cozy atmosphere or sit outside and find yourself whisked away to the shore. Kick back with all your friends at Aloha, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. Call 405-633-7778 and remember that you can take that sunshine with you thanks to their drive-thru lane. Aloha Shaved Ice and Coffee Shop, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. 405-633-7778.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. We've got a very special show for you here today with a couple of special guests, lots of talk, 2 hours at our favorite restaurant in Yukon, the Interurban. My name's Luke Young. I'm joined by Blake Vance and Blake Nightingale, and that's not going to get confusing at all, right, folks?
No way.
Thank you both for sitting down. Let's tell them a little bit first about the Interurban before we kind of introduce what we're doing here today. The Interurban is at 11316 West Reno Avenue out here in Yukon. Oklahoma's meeting place since 1976. There we go. 405-324-8362. That's the number you need to call for the Interurban. Again, they're our hosts for today's show. We're sitting down at a booth out here by the patio area. We're going to do all the sports talk. We got guests coming by. They're at a table to the next. And this is going to be a pretty fun one here, folks. We got some appetizers as well. We got fried pickles, cheese curds, and mozzarella sticks. So we're eating very healthily here with the appetizers. But it's great service and great food, and everybody that stops by will be sure to enjoy it. We got the app combo platter, but they got a lot more, including Southwest egg rolls. They've got Rusty's onion dip, fajita nachos, and much, much more. Again, that's all at the Interurban. But let's just go ahead and jump right into this one, I think. So Blake Vance, obviously everybody knows he's been with me for a little bit doing our broadcast. But Blake Nightingale, a lot of people will know you as well because you've been with us for a long time. But I think this is the first time you've ever come on a show.
First time live. I'm excited. Excited to be here.
Glad to hear that. Before we start the sports talk, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I am a local State Farm agent, passionate in this area to help people just take care of their most prized possessions, right? Your auto, your home, your life insurance. And so would love just helping people in the community, connecting with youth athletes. We love everything OU football and just excited to be a part of it today. So,
and again, we're happy to have you out there. Wouldn't be the same without Blake Nightingale coming up on the show here.
Yes.
So. Well, obviously, if the title didn't give it away, this is the OU football special. All things Oklahoma Sooners football, behind the scenes, camp news, to season predictions, and much more. Just right out of the gate, I figure it's going to be a pretty good year for OU. I don't know how y'all are feeling about it, but I think they're going to be all right.
I think they'll do just fine.
With the extension of Brent, big expectations from the fan base, I feel like, this year.
Oh, no doubt about it. Let's talk about that contract, and that's how we'll start this thing off. 6 years, worth an average of $10.5 million per year. The season records, Venables is 32-20 in his last 4 seasons. He's got a 6-2 record in SEC play last season, staying positive on both of them, but, yeah, expecting big things. OU hasn't hit the national championship high I think a lot of people are expecting yet. But clearly, the guys in the front office, all right, the guys in the administration, they believe in Venables.
They definitely gave him some time to rebuild. I think the cat's out of the bag a little bit, though, now. I think you're moving on from, hey, let's try to get to a playoff to now championship expectations, and the pay comes with that, and so does the pressure. So we'll see how he responds. I think he's the right guy for the job, though.
Yeah, and say again what that combined record is.
32-20 in 4 seasons at OU. He was 6-2 in SEC play last season.
Yeah, and part of that record, it's been better, but part of that record is he had Lincoln Riley's guys whenever they went 6-6 or 7-6. So that's a piece of that. But they've done a lot better this last 3 seasons under Venables. Last year, I think if John Mateer doesn't hurt his thumb, then they beat Alabama in that first round. But I'm not sure how much further they were going to go. But I do think that with this extension, they're expecting him to make championship runs.
Now, my question is, you remember when everybody was calling this the wrong move, to have a defensive-minded head coach, running someone that's had a team that's had a very powerful offense for the majority of the 21st century. Has that flipped? Is he, kind of rewriting the rules about having a defensive guy there, or is this just because Venables is the right guy for OU?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both. I think bringing Brent back, who has stake in the program, right? Like he had love for the Sooners before, a lot of history there. I think you're starting to see a shift in the SEC in general, where defensive-minded coaches, as well as kind of a shift, right? Like, you remember the Des Bryant years with the OSU, and like even us, early on with the Baker Mayfield teams, like, man, it was heavy offense. And I think you're starting to see a shift where it's like the offensive dynamic isn't as crazy as what it was before. So it's kind of like you got to have a competent offense, but you got to have a really good defense to make the runs. You're seeing it already in NFL quite a bit, right? Like the best defenses get you there. But no doubt about it, though, you got to have a dynamic quarterback, and that's the primary thing that we're going to be talking about today, I think.
Well, I would agree with you there.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add on that. Like the thing is it's kind of like, it's a bit like whenever everybody was calling for Presti's head 4 years ago, because he just cleaned house essentially with that SGA trade, got a bunch of picks, ended up working out pretty well. So I do think that there was a certain element of that. At the end of the day, it's all entertainment, so people want to see offense these days, and Venables is making it fun again to watch defenses play with big. There was you'll probably remember this. There was a segment in the game day mornings on the NFL called "You Got Jacked Up," and there's been a lot of that this past couple seasons with this OU defense. There's been a lot of fun defensive players flying around making good plays. So I think that he's kind of making it fun again to watch defenses.
Let me tell you this: like, who's your blue bloods have been winning the championships the last decade, right? It's Alabama, it's Georgia. What do they all have in common? Clemson had a few. What did they all have in common?
Big boys up front in defense.
Yep, big lines and elite defenses are what carry you through the playoffs. So we'll see.
But more than a few of those also had Heisman winners at quarterback.
They had Heisman winners.
And that's the thing is there's very, very good to great quarterback play, big boys up front, solid defense, and it usually gets the job done.
I definitely, like I said, I think OU more than capable defensively to compete. They have been competing, right? They've kind of proven that. Even with the guys we've graduated, they're going hard in the transfer portal. They're trying to bring guys in. They're not staying on their heels that way. They're getting out there. I think the defense is more than capable, more than proved it even. How does the offense match it?
Yeah.
Because we can't have a streaky offense again, whether it's due to injuries or due to inconsistencies. it's got to be now. I mean, I hate that I have to say that, but it kind of feels like it's got to be about right now.
Yeah,
but
I would say the off-season pickups through the portal and everything else, I would give OU an A. I mean, bringing in Witten as coach, all the additives from experienced players to highly talented. Again, though, when you say that, it brings the pressure. So it's like you have the guys, like no more excuses, like you were saying with the Lincoln Riley guys. Like you've got your guys in your defensive system, and now you brought in some studs on offense. Let's see what happens.
Actually, I'm glad you brought up Witten coming in to coach. Tight end is always an important position, I'd say, for OU. I think this is one of those years where we could have had a question mark there. How far in advance do you think they were planning to offer him that job if it came up?
Gosh, and how much of his son being a stud was a part of that too?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. I think it's been in the works. I'm excited for a couple of things. One, we've got to have a running game. I thought DeMarco Murray, on paper, you felt like he was a pretty good recruiter. Felt like he knew what he was doing, but from sources I know, there was a lot of dissension in the running backs room. There was a lot of drama, a lot of animosity, a couple kids quitting. So I'm curious to see with the addition of these coaches what kind of product we're going to have with these players. I'm excited to see what Witten can do with these tight ends for sure.
Speaking on the running backs, our running back coach is Dylan McCullough, and I'm excited to see what he does this year. Because like we said, we've graduated more than a few, but they do still have some real talent back there surrounding Mateer, getting the ball consistently, right? So,
yeah, and with Witten coming in, the thing about the tight end is one of the most important positions for a quarterback because that is your safety blanket. So, Satania goes across, can't find him, the other receivers are going. You always got that little check down right there, and Witten was one of the best ever at getting about 8 yards down the field, and then just stopping. Here I am, and I'm going to get this first down, whether you like it or not.
So what do you think we need? Speaking of the tight ends, like what do we project for them? Like what kind of receiving yards do you think we're going to get out of them this year? Like, do you think, like you said, do you think they'll get the 500-600 yards a year? Like, is it going to be kind of smaller? Like, what do you think their plan is packaging these tight ends?
I definitely think that they're looking for somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 to 700 yards, maybe 8 touchdowns, but with the core, somewhere around there. Just a guy that can go out and get you a first down if necessary. Like you got a third and long, you got a guy that is going to go up and get the ball and get that first down. It doesn't matter what happens.
I would say a lot of those pivotal touchdowns in the SEC come in the red zone specifically are those tight ends, right? Big bodies, like finding a little spot and going after it. I'll be curious to see what kind of production we can get from them this year.
Even the ones that get hit and then can keep going for an extra 2-3 yards.
Jason Witten, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Helmet flies off, he goes for another 50.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the other skill position. Like you said, they're going to need a run game. They do still have Blaylock, who we saw. They have Xavier Robinson. Sawchuk is a junior this year. Like, they do still have – what do we need out of them? Like, how are they going to impact that and take the load off Mateer's shoulders?
So before we get into that, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Would you say that Texas's running game, yards per game, was better or worse than ours last year?
If I'm just guessing off the top of my head, theirs was honestly probably worse because they relied a lot on Manning.
It was worse yardage per game. And I was watching a podcast earlier that talked about, like, the number of yards that the last few champions have had. And, we got to get there. I mean, we were only, I think, 130 yards per game. It's kind of what the average was. And Mateer's an element of that too now, right? Like, you're going to see Mateer having his own package, but we have to be able to run the ball. We have to. With our defense, if we can have a competent running game, that's going to be, I think, the moment that's going to open things up for Mateer to make him the Heisman candidate that I thought he was a couple of years ago. So,
yeah, and I mean that's kind of where I was leading into also is as long as they've got a good to really good running game, and if the defense is going to be probably top 10, top 15 in the nation most likely, if the offense could just meet them somewhere in the top 25, top 30, I think that they'll have a really good shot at going all the way.
It's a tough conference in the SEC, but and again, we have what is it, like the second toughest schedule in college football this year?
Somewhere in there.
if not the first. Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, you got Michigan, Georgia, Texas. A&M's going to be a little tough towards the end of the year at Florida. So there's a lot of the quality opponents in the schedule.
Right, and that one especially, the going to Florida, is
that's
always
a
pointed
tough
out
one.
as like maybe the second most difficult behind Georgia.
Yep.
Right. So
Going to the big house is not easy either.
Well, and that's what when we talk about Mateer, like y'all seen him, right? He looks pretty jacked.
Yeah,
looks a little
dude,
bit
he's
bigger.
he's looking pretty
craziest
Yeah.
offseason
So-
program I've ever seen.
So, you got to think that there's probably been some discussions of, hey, you're going to beef up because we're going to need you some, but it can't be all on his shoulders. Like, we can't.
No.
He's going to get hurt. This is SEC, right? Like, you can't be running him 12 times a game and expect good results. We got to put some pressure on him. I know that they've had some who do you think is going to be starting day one for the running backs? Do you think it's going to be X, or who would you vote for as far as
right now, I think it'd be Torrey.
That would probably be my guess. But
At least the very first game of the year, I think it'd be Torrey.
I would not be disappointed if it's Robinson, though.
I won't be upset either way.
So, they got to find it. I thought I think X had some great runs last year where I thought, man, why isn't he getting more opportunities? And so we'll see. We'll find out.
I guess it kind of just depends on who do you think has the higher upside, because they're both going to be good running backs, but who can also be the pass blocker, who can also be the pass catcher out in the flats or something. So, like I said, they're both good, and I think Sawchuk is a good running back as well.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those deals where you take one, I'll take the other. I'm not mad at either pick.
Yeah. Well, and that's what got Ott off the field a lot. He didn't do the intangibles. So as much talent as what he had last year, you kept wondering, where's he at? I get, he wouldn't pass block, kind of a little bit lazy on certain plays. Like, you need somebody to step up and say, take on the challenge, right? Like, hey, this has been abysmal for OU the last couple seasons. We're about to right the ship, and make things happen this year. So
I hope so. And we are maybe more hopeful as OU fans than some others out there on the national side. I've got a clip from Paul Feinbaum I can play right now.
Let's do it.
Just kind of get us into the national discussion here and what some other people are saying. So let me go ahead and play that one for you. This will just be audio only so we don't get hit with copyright.
Perfect.
Here we go. So this was Paul Feinbaum. I guess that was probably a couple of weeks ago, at least last week.
Before the scooter runs me over on my next trip to Norman. I'm on Sports Center live. You posted that show a million times. And the question at the very end is, who in the top 10, if you have to pick one of the top 10 teams to be unranked, who would you pick? Now, that's a pretty tough question. And I looked over the list, and it came down between Ole Miss and Oklahoma, and I chose Oklahoma. Now, I know I'm not about to kill this segment by saying that's not what I meant, because I said it. And not only did I say it, I repeated it the next day when I was asked the same question, except that's not exactly what I believe. Sports Center questions and get-up questions aren't the kind of questions that you would have asked me. So I am going to say this, and whatever happens, happens. I think OU is about a 9-3 team, which would mean they would finish probably in the top 15. But I wasn't about to just be that guy on ESPN the other day, so I gave an answer. If that makes any sense, fine. If OU fans want to put me at the top of the list instead of Lincoln Riley, that's also fine. Have I heard from a lot of whiny, sniveling, chip on your shoulder OU fans? Absolutely. One of your greats came after me the other day. Good for him. I really don't care. Let's start the interview, okay?
So I think he honestly did explain himself pretty well there. But 9-3, if we go from what he's really saying there, he expects them to be a 9-3 team, outside the top 10, but still ranked, but most likely missing the playoffs.
Yeah. Without getting too much into their schedule, I see where he's coming from. And so, like, outside of being a Sooners fan, realistically, if I'm circling a game, I feel like Michigan's one we have to win.
I believe Michigan's the one. And, we'll save it for the next segment. But, yeah, I believe Michigan's going to be the
crux.
Yeah.
essentially.
So, and I get what he's saying. Basically, he's coming out and saying, listen, like, we have the second hardest, if not the hardest schedule in the country. Like, Mateer is unproven again.
Yep.
Our running game was nothing last year. And I'll be honest with you, as much as we were excited about last year and all the great things, man, a couple of those games came down to critical plays, like 50-50 plays. They could have gone either way.
Yeah,
we could have lost,
absolutely.
right? And we probably should have lost a couple of those games. And so you had a little bit of Sooner magic, I feel like, last year in some of those games. And so if that stuff doesn't get cleaned up from the offensive perspective, I don't think we're going to be this lucky this year. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was LSU last year. The whole reason they had a chance was a blown coverage in the secondary.
With Tennessee, they were going down to score, going to go up 14-0. Had the sack fumble for the recovery for the touchdown. R. Mason Thomas, huge play, critical moment. I mean, talk about – now, I know football is all games, like momentum swinging plays, but that specifically, could have gone a completely different route. So
it's scary.
Yeah.
I think the best way I have to describe it, and Blake Vance, about to just start referring to you as last names, but you can tell me if you agree or disagree, but I think it feels like OU has the higher ceiling and the lower floor than some of the other teams that are ranked pretty highly in the preseason poll, which the other team you mentioned was Ole Miss. I don't have their schedule right in front of me. I'll pull it up and break, but I definitely think that a lot of national guys see that as OU can be a really good team. They can be the team maybe we expect, but they can also be a lot worse than we expect, and that's the problem here.
Yeah, it could really go either way because they've got half their games against ranked opponents as of right now. So there might be some movement, but as of today, they have 6 games, so about half their games against ranked opponents. So that Michigan game, I believe, is going to be the thing that sets the tone for the season.
The one thing I would say is, and why we were able to get to the playoff last year was our defense. Your defense, if it's elite, can keep us in games. And so you just hope that Brent brings the same magic as last year. I mean, I love him as a play caller. I love the finesse he's brought to the game again. It seems like he's got guys flying all around. It seems like our secondary and our cornerbacks are legit. And we haven't really had that since Sanchez. I mean, we even kind of laughed about Sanchez. Sanchez was either going to give up an interception or a touchdown. Or he was either going to get one or take one.
He was one of the biggest boomer bust players that OU's ever had.
So, you got to believe that defense is going to give your offense chances. And, man, if they can execute some of those chances, it'll be an exciting year for sure.
And we've got Heineke back. He's a 6th year, right, at linebacker?
Yep.
So, man, I'm going to be watching him. I'm so excited to watch him all season. I love me some good linebacker play.
Yeah.
But we've got Heineke
and don't forget Kip Lewis was flying everywhere also.
Yeah, true. So, man, I think they do have the potential to hit that high ceiling. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm right there. As we get ready to go to break, we've got about 5 minutes left here. Some other teams. Now, you've mentioned Michigan. You've mentioned Michigan. We've talked about Georgia. We haven't talked about Texas yet, and there's been some drama coming out of Austin. I'm sure y'all have heard about it a little bit. Yeah, so let's talk about this before we go to break, and then that'll take us into schedule and really in-game, in-depth discussions. Texas has reportedly let a linebacker go on conduct detrimental to the team. No other explanation there. They've reportedly had players skipping practice and or faking illnesses and injuries. They've had parents of players making essentially call-out posts. The one I saw was Hayward Howard Sr. making a pretty big call-out post on social media talking about, he calls it political games happening inside the football program, and rumors that Sarkisian has completely lost the locker room before even the first game of the year. Oh, and Arch Manning apparently doesn't look very good. He's throwing a lot of interceptions. I got nothing against the kid. I never thought he was going to be all that. But what are y'all thoughts on just our rivals' preseason news?
I felt like Arch, he was a little bit. They gave him the benefit of the doubt a little too much. I mean, and even with the rankings now, I mean, these rankings tell me that they think Texas offense is going to be competent. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know, they got the studs, but it sounds like Sark can't get out of his own way. So it'll be interesting to see what the dynamic looks like. It could free fall for him real quick, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it definitely could. And, I mean, Arch had a couple of flashes in the pan last year, but overall, like, he wasn't amazing. He wasn't all he was hyped up to be. He had a handful of good runs, handful of good passes, but I mean, overall, with the news coming out, I'm kind of hoping it continues till week 5 or week 6, whatever is on the schedule, and OU gets an easy dub there.
So, in y'all's opinion, does a guy like Feinbaum have it wrong? Is Texas actually secretly someone who has a lower floor than people are expecting?
Gosh, they got a lot of studs. I mean, I'll tell you this: if Archie can be mid or a little bit better,
yep,
like, they've got a chance to win a lot of games. I think it's going to come down to his decision making, but I do think they've given them the benefit of the doubt a little bit. I'll be honest with you, kind of like some of these other blue bloods. You know, we used to get it before Lincoln and Riley left, but it doesn't seem like they're a top 5 team to me this year. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's about where I was going with it. So,
all right, well, we will see. On our next segment, we're going to break down game by game OU's chances, maybe their approach, our thoughts on it. And then in the second half of our show, we'll start taking some live callers, so look forward to that one for everybody listening. We're at the Interurban out here in Yukon for today's show, Oklahoma's meeting place since 1976, right here off of Reno. We're with Blake Nightingale of Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, joining us for the first time ever.
Yes,
in a pretty good occasion to come out here, right?
Absolutely, it's been a blast.
Hey, call Interurban at 405-324-8362. Blake, how can they reach you?
Yeah, call me or text me 405-728-1313.
When we come back, we'll tell you more about the Interurban and Blake's business, and then we'll get into some more OU. Stick around. Say aloha to your new favorite shaved ice and coffee shop, Aloha Shaved Ice. On the corner of Northwest 39th Expressway and Council. Aloha brings the summer vibes no matter what the weather looks like outside. Their year-round shaved ice means you get to enjoy classic flavors like grape, strawberry, and cotton candy, while their extensive selection of coffee complements that chill flavor perfectly. Looking for something different? Aloha has specialty drinks for days. Try the Banana Split, Fuzzy Monkey, Spider-Man, or Shrek. And trust us when we say that's only a small part of their specialty lineup. Sharp-eyed visitors may also notice Aloha's local support and drinks like the Bethany Broncos, SNU Crimson Storm, SCU Eagles, and Boomer Sooner. You can enjoy games like chess or Candyland while you dine in the cozy atmosphere, or sit outside and find yourself whisked away to the shore. Kick back with all your friends at Aloha, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. Call 405-633-7778, and remember that you can take that sunshine with you thanks to their drive-thru lane. Aloha Shaved Ice and Coffee Shop, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. 405-633-7778.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned, full-service, licensed, and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley Service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100.
All-American Pizza at 501 South Mustang Road in Yukon is the home of deliciousness, with tasty handmade pizzas, homemade ranch, and one-of-a-kind, not sold anywhere else, gyros. Lunch, dinner, feasts. Stop by and eat. You'll find friendly staff, great deals, and an Oklahoma original menu crafted with 100% natural ingredients. Bring the whole family to this family-owned and operated restaurant and get a taste of their mini lunch and dinner specials. Call 405-324-5551 for All-American Pizza in Yukon. Tired of getting gouged by overpriced department or public laundry facilities? Us too. That's why we stop by Essential Laundry Express in OKC, 7936 North MacArthur Boulevard. Open daily from 8 to 8, Essential Laundry offers pickup, delivery, self-serve services, alongside washing, drying, and folding services to boot. Locally owned and operated, Essential Laundry takes exceptional care of your clothes. It even offers added perks like a kids' corner and value-add centers that make it the Essential Laundry Center for express services. Essential Laundry Express, 405-449-3610.
Deliciousness in every bite. Blessed Cookies and Desserts at 4401 North MacArthur Boulevard, Suite C in Bethany and War Acres' favorite locally owned dessert store. With tasty treats like cheesecakes, cookies, and tres leches cakes. Blessed Cookies makes great gifts for both friends and family, or sweet treats for yourself. Blessed Cookies and Desserts, 4401 North MacArthur Boulevard, Suite C. Oklahoma City loves Bliss Cookies and Desserts. 405-503-3223. Bliss Cookies and Desserts.
This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. We're back for a new segment here at the Interurban in Yukon, Oklahoma's favorite meeting place. Shout out to the Interurban. Thank you so much, everybody here, for letting us come by and do this show. They're at 11316 West Reno. You can go to interurban.us/Yukon to find this exact location. Open 11-9 today, and they've got plenty of stuff on the menu, including, of course, the honey pepper bacon, which is immaculate, if you will.
Check out that Heather's mac and cheese, too. It's pretty good.
Well, the Heather's mac and cheese with a little bit of that bacon on top?
Yeah, money.
They've also got some Tex-Mex stuff in here, enchiladas, fish tacos. They've got bowls as well. And, of course, plenty of desserts, from the chocolate cake, the brownie sundae, the turtle cheesecake, and the apple cobbler, which I've had the sundae before, the brownie sundae. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller, like just, the brownie, and the plate was maybe barely bigger than that.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish it.
No, it's a big piece of dessert.
It's really, really good. But that's not just the desserts. That's all the menu items here at the Interurban. Great food for a great price and a great restaurant. Of course, a big spot for all the local sports fans. They've got different games playing on the TVs up here as we talk OU football. And come September 4th, they'll have those OU games.
Oh, it'll be packed out in here.
That'll be a good time. Another reason to stop by. Blake Nightingale is joining us on this show. Blake, you're back in Oklahoma City on the Expressway. I believe the address is 7304 Northwest Expressway.
Yeah, no better time than right now. The cost of gas, dude, it's crazy, right? So let's save some money on insurance. Give me a call, 405-728-1313. We like to go kind of a comprehensive review of all your stuff, make sure you're covered properly. Honestly, we just love taking care of people. Same thing here in Interurban. So.
All right, let's jump into this segment. We're going through the schedule. We're talking about OU's chances, maybe their game plan, and some storylines maybe surrounding some of these games. So I'll go ahead and kick it off. This whole time since August 14th, I've saved the FPI rankings for OU season. Obviously, UTEP is as close to a guaranteed win as you can get. Shouldn't be any trouble there. But second week of the season, you get to what we've been calling the crux of the year at Michigan. ESPN FPI gives us only a 47.5% chance to win that game. Do you think that's too high, too low, about the same as last year when we met them? How do we feel about it?
I just quarterback play is not quite there for Michigan, in my opinion. No. So I think it's a little low. I think here's the thing too. That 11 a.m. kickoff helps us, in my opinion. You don't want to be playing in Ann Arbor at night, rowdy. Everyone's going crazy. So I think it's a little low, in my opinion. But
yeah, and it's early in the year, so it's not going to be too cold up there in Michigan. They still got Underwood at the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not 100% with I'd probably give OU just a little bit better shot on that, but it's probably about as close to 50-50 as this schedule's going to get as far as who they're playing.
I agree with you. We saw this game go OU's way last year. The only thing that worries me is it's kind of like Alabama, but stretched out over 2 years, where we beat them the first time, lost them in the playoffs. I don't want that to be Michigan beat them last year and lose them this year.
A lot of these big-time games, right? Like Ohio State, we lost, and the Baker goes and plants the flag on, back to back. Like, there's going to be a fight. I mean, you can't tell me that all offseason Michigan's been putting our poster on the board, Xing this game out to get revenge. So it's going to be tough. We'll see.
It will be tough. So we'll go ahead and say, about a 50-50 shot there? Say FPI's got them a little bit too low.
Yeah.
Just a bit too low, yeah.
Just a little bit. Not a lot, but.
It's as close to a 50-50 as the schedule is.
Next game is at home versus New Mexico. Same thing as UTEP there. Not much to say about that one, I don't think. And then
I'll give that a 95.
And then you've got the gauntlet of Georgia, Texas with Florida staring you down later on. So let's start with Georgia. We're going to Georgia, which is already not a good sign.
With Kirby having the refs in his back pocket, and he can pretty much call timeouts whenever he wants to. I think that's going to be our L this year. I really don't want it to be, but I think that's going to be one of the spots that it's just you kind of hope you can keep it close. And I think that's why the Michigan game is so important, because you're going to have a few times where in the SEC where we can talk about it a little bit later, but I think a 2-loss OU team gets in. So I think this is one of the ones that are going to be tough, real tough to overcome.
Yeah. This is going to be one of the biggest games of the year. It's going to be real hard in Athens, so I'd put this one down as a loss when they're going to Georgia. Everything's just going to be crazy. So
here's the question: we beat Michigan. Is this game day?
It could be.
I could see it. Yeah, honestly, I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, top 8 teams playing.
Yep.
I mean, what you said there, a 10-2 OU makes the playoffs. With the asterisk as long as those 2 losses are
close,
Georgia and like a Texas team that stays top 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Can't lose New Mexico.
Right.
Yeah, you should go 2-0 with UTEP and New Mexico.
Yeah. FBI has the Georgia game at a 23% chance for us to win it. It's a quarter.
That's a little. I think it's a little low. I think it's a little. Right.
That one's a 50-50 if we're being honest with each other.
Yeah, as an OU fan, 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like we have one of the most dominant defensive lines and probably best defense in the SEC. Like, I don't know. We've seen all the teams struggle to score on us last year, so we'll see. But I think at 20-some% is a little bit low in my opinion. But
yeah, maybe just a touch low. I'd probably give it more of a third chance since they're going to Georgia. If they were in Norman, I would give them a better shot. But since they will be in Georgia, I'd say probably about a third.
Yeah. It's definitely, they're approaching it with Georgia might struggle with OU's defense, but is OU's offense going to struggle more with Georgia's defense? I think it's the way they approach it.
Yeah, I can see that being a super low-scoring game.
Yeah. Who are the big playmakers for Georgia this year?
Let's look up the roster.
I'll have to look at it.
I got you. I'll look it up while y'all talk about the next one. Red River Rivalry. It's Texas. They've got FPI has us at a 24.4% chance to win that one. And
hey, can we score a touchdown this year? Right?
Yeah.
Can we?
I mean, if they wouldn't mind, that'd be great.
Can we figure that out? It's all. Here's the thing. It's all dependent on Mateer's decision making. Can we get? We've seen these games, right? It comes down to a couple dumb decisions, a couple turnovers, a couple crazy shifts, and that's what makes these games awesome. And so we got to limit those mistakes, and hopefully come out on top this year. I think they're gonna be fired. I think they're gonna be fired up more so for this game than ever. The only fear is you might be coming off a Georgia loss. So how does the mindset?
That's
shift,
where I was going with it. So if you can get to OU Texas at 3-1, I think you got a pretty good chance. 4-0 is even better, but if you can get there at least 3-1, because you should win the UTEP in New Mexico. Michigan is a coin flip, but if you can get out of Georgia relatively unscathed, because I think there's going to be a lot of beating up on both sides. So as long as they can stay within reasonable health, I think they have a really good shot to go to Texas and get the dub.
Before we move on to the next one, let's kind of circle back to Georgia here. So if you're 3-1 after that game, and obviously we said what we said about Texas, do you say that goes 50-50? Do you say that goes higher, up to 60% versus Texas? Then I'll give some of those Georgia playmakers that might make it difficult.
I'd say probably about 60% chance against Texas if they get out of Georgia reasonably.
Okay.
So my whole thing is, and I hope it doesn't happen, but if it's a blowout for Georgia, go ahead and just rest everybody. If it's a blowout for OU, keep it rolling. But I really hope it's the opposite way with OU just routing Georgia. That way they can have some momentum going to Texas. But it's going to be a tough one to come off of a Georgia game and then go to OU Texas.
So I'm looking at Georgia's roster here. Oops, sorry about that. I remember that KJ Bolden is a big name they're bringing back on their defense. I'm looking at their defense. He's a DB. They've got one really good linebacker, again, that they're bringing back. I'm trying to find him here because his name escapes me.
And their quarterback was a stud last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, gosh.
They're going with Stockton. He's a fifth year now.
Yeah, and we already had trouble. Already had trouble finding space with Satania last year. I think that's why some of our additions at wide receiver will help. But we've got to be able to space out the floor. Mateer's got to be able to throw it deep because they got some studs on the corners there.
Okay, that's actually a quick tangent I want to go on. What is Mateer's game? What is their game plan for him? Are they going to let him try and get a lot of touches on the ground, a lot of carries? Are they going to say, if you see the deep ball, let it rip? Or are we going to stay mid-game?
So I think it's all dependent on the running game. And what I mean by that is if we have a decent running game and our tight ends can come in there and do 12th man and all that kind of stuff and just basically run it down their throats, we're going to open up the field a little bit. You know, Mateer couldn't throw it over the top. And you only had Satania really that was getting open.
No.
But, like, defenses could really just kind of settle. Just like, hey, we're going to load the box and make you try to beat us, and we couldn't. So if our running game can come, you know, it's going to make them stay a little more honest. But I think we've got to get a deep ball going, else it's going to be a long year again.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a handful of opportunities, but he would always kind of put a little bit too much mustard on those deep balls. So it's just kind of like he couldn't really regulate where he was throwing it. He would either throw a bullet or it was way over the top. So the deep ball needs to be there, especially with this schedule. It needs to at least be a threat. But as long as they can get the running game going, I think they'll have a lot of success.
Which that does remind me about Georgia because their other DB is Ellis Robinson the fourth. He's like a junior too. Same thing as Bolden. Those two were number 2 or 3 or number 1 and 2 in their interceptions and passes defended last year or something like that. It's crazy. So that's a tough matchup for OU. Really, Georgia is.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I mean, you got to expect Georgia to make it, to the Final Four at least this year. So. You're gonna have to bring it up. It's gonna have to hit on all cylinders, and it's gonna have to be pretty early, right? Like before even Texas. So, Michigan's a really kind of your measuring stick to see where you're at, and hopefully we get some things humming. Because we started off kind of hot, and then we kind of, after Mateer got hurt, it just felt like we couldn't really get momentum going again offensively, anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not blaming him. I would probably be doing the same thing, trying to come back 10 days after to go and play against Texas. But I think that was it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but I think that was a mistake to come back that early.
See, I've made my opinions clear on that. I think it would have made a difference, but that they definitely brought him back too early.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, because who'd they have last year? Hawkins?
Mm-hmm.
Back in I think they would have had a much better shot.
Well, look at J-Dub. I mean, he didn't hardly play at all. He had the same injury as Mateer, so I think it was a little bit rushed. But here's the thing: some of it is Mateer's mechanics. I mean, he's went and worked on it a little bit this season. That sidearm, especially in the Oklahoma wind, has a chance to sail on you. And he was not accurate a lot. Like, there was some wide open receivers and some gasp in the crowd at the Alabama game whenever we were in the playoff because there was just, Arbuckle had somebody wide open and he couldn't make the throw. So we'll see how it is this year. But hopefully it was just the injury.
Yeah, between that and the miscommunication pick six.
Yeah.
So after Texas, we stay here versus Kentucky, which is an 86.3% chance for us, according to the FPI.
Too low.
And then they go up to Mississippi State, which is an 80% chance for us.
So let me ask you this: we're already kind of in the meat of the season right now, and what if they're at 3 losses? Does Venables lose the team, or do you think there's still hope that they keep pushing forward and keep grinding out wins?
At Mississippi State, I think there's still hope because I do feel like when you've got Florida, it's going to be a tough one, and you've got Ole Miss. They want that Ole Miss game. They want that one.
Yeah.
So I think up until second or third to last week of season, he's got the team.
Yeah.
If they underperform after that point, there's nothing you can do.
Well, all I know is I want that Florida game because I will never forgive Tim Tebow.
But we're skipping ahead a little bit. We did miss South Carolina. We have them at home. ESPN FPI gives us a 3/4 chance, 75% to win that one.
I think that's about right.
That's about right.
Then,
No Spencer Rattler.
no. Then it's Florida.
Yeah.
And we've already kind of touched on this, but what makes going to Florida so difficult?
The dang gator chomp. Is that not the most annoying thing in college football sports, right? Golly, I remember that, like you said, back in the night. Oh, can't get enough of that crap.
Between that, it's just the crowd, the atmosphere, the weather. Like, it's tough to win there. It doesn't matter how off the Florida Gators are that season. They always find a way to scrape by 3 or 4 wins at home. So it's just kind of a culmination of like just all that put together, and it's just tough to win there.
I agree. Come back home versus Ole Miss, and now you're in the third to last week of the season. That's a 62.3% chance for us to win in Norman, which, again, I think that's accurate. I think that's one of the games that OU has circled.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah.
So I definitely give OU the advantage there. But do you think? I guess you think 62 is accurate.
It's about right. Yeah.
Here's what I'd say. I don't know very many successful campaigns where your head coach leaves for a bigger job than what you have, and then they maintain that one of the staff members on the team come in as head coach. Like, I don't know very many successful next seasons, in my opinion. Losing the players you lose, bringing in new, like, it's just everything's new, right? Like, the systems, how you do things. I think it's going to be at least a year or two before they can figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's about right. They've lost too much depth and leadership, so I did call that one a win.
Yeah, I actually agree with you both there. And Lane Kiffin, I mean, LSU, what's going on now? That could take its whole segment. That could take a whole nother one. But
we're talking OU right now.
Yeah, let's wrap up our last 2 games. Texas A&M at home, 49.9% chance, basically a 50-50. That's our second to last game of the year.
I mean, what do they think?
Who do they have?
Yeah, what do they think A&M is going to do? I mean, I'm not saying they're not great, but I don't know. At home, really,
they're giving OU against Ole Miss 62, but then it's a 50-50 against A&M. That doesn't make any sense.
I think it comes down to like where are we at in the season at that point?
Yeah.
Like if we have a playoff spot on the line and our crowd is rowdy and shows up, and our defense is on fire, we're going to bring the energy. If we are a 3-loss team and kind of the crowd doesn't really care that much, I think it's more closer to the 40-something% they think. I think it's over 60 if they get in there and they've got a chance at the playoff spot, honestly.
Oh, we got
we got Daniel
sitting down. Hold on here. Let me.
He heard us saying a bunch of losses, so he's saying no.
I thought you were sitting down here to come and tell us about it.
I am. But I thought I'd do that.
Yeah, you're on now. We're live.
Well, all right, since I'm already on. Hey, first, Blake, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you being out here. Both Blakes.
No problem. Yeah.
And our good friend Luke. I'm an excited OU fan. And probably unrealistic at times, but that's okay. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I think they're pretty good. Tell me your thoughts, and to ask that the right question, if you're going to look at OU, just what you know about it, what do you see OU as? I'm always going to see them as an undefeated team and score a lot of points, and the defense is going to be smothering and shut people out. I mean, I view that as OU. What are your thoughts first, Blake?
I think this season as a whole, as we go through the schedule now, I think it can. I think there's a realistic chance of 1-loss season, which I think, in my opinion, would be fantastic.
That'd be an incredible year.
And I think the reason I feel like that's a good chance is you can win any game with a fantastic defense. Our defensive line, incredible. I'm hearing great things from our offensive line. We know the SEC, if we can hold the front on both sides of the ball, we got a good shot of winning a lot of games. The linchpin is, can Mateer be a little bit better, right? At times, I don't know that he can be any worse. So I think we're a 1-loss team, and that's a really good season. That's a championship-style season if we can get that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm too hopeful, but I think a 1-loss team
I think it's a pretty good idea. And if it's Georgia, maybe Oklahoma and Georgia will play again for the SEC championship.
There you go.
think?
I'm all for that.
And then it's revenge. It's not going to be three times in a row.
I actually stated here, I think OU is going to Atlanta this year.
They will begin in Atlanta.
They will be at one point. Right?
You're correct. I'd say it's going to happen here in about 4 weeks.
About 4 weeks or so. And then maybe they get back there twice. We'll see.
Yeah. We've got one game left on the schedule we hadn't talked about yet. That's Missouri, up there in Missouri. 60.3% chance to win. That's what they give us. That's our last game of the season. Well, regular season game.
Yeah, that's probably the trickiest one on here because it really all depends on how the year goes.
We beat them 17-6 last year. That was our third to last game, counting the playoff game. Yep. So we met them before. Could this be another one where like Missouri is looking to make it a stunner?
I think so. I don't foresee them losing that game though.
I don't see the loss, but it's probably the trickiest game on the schedule.
Yeah. I see it close, but I think I'm with you. I don't see a loss there per se. So we've got 10 minutes left here. Did you have something?
I was just thinking anyone who's still on that team that was on the team 2 years ago that remembers that horrific nightmare at the end of the game, they may be ready for that game.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll never forget Chase Daniel tearing them up.
I think it'd be good. Go ahead.
All right, so we just went through the entire regular season schedule for the Sooners. So just one more time, wrapping this one up, heading to break. Season record. What is OU going to finish at?
I actually have it right here. Hold on. 10-2 losses at Georgia and at Florida.
I say 10-2 as well at Georgia, and then you could name any one of the hiccups at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I just did Florida.
Yeah.
I'm going to always say 12-0.
15-0 says Daniel.
You can. Anybody ask me, is OU going to win that game? I do not mind wearing those sunglasses. The Sooners will win every game and win a national championship and take that chase. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, two-loss team does get in, don't you think?
I think so.
Okay, I agree.
Again,
unless everybody else is somehow undefeated. I don't know.
Yeah. But again, with just the teams they're playing, how many of those are going to finish top 10 at worst?
Yeah.
Like, I'll play, I guess, more the devil's advocate and say 9-3 because, maybe they lose one they should have won.
Well, I kind of gave Texas a coin flip, but I just gave it to OU.
Yeah. I'll go say 9-3. I'll stick with Feinbaum on that one, I guess. But
Dang.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just playing devil's advocate
That's
here.
a fool's errand, signing with Feinbaum.
Right.
Well, picking them 9-3, you must have been talking to the devil. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but it's going to be a good year for OU football. I think they've got a lot to prove, and I think they've got the guys there to prove it.
Hey, they already won the baseball national championship.
Exactly.
Why not this one?
Exactly. And you know what? You know what?
I'm still pumped over that one.
You know what Skip said? He looked at the OU football guys and he said, "We got ours. It's your turn next."
Yep.
They're winning it all this year.
And don't forget, who came and encouraged them?
Gruden, baby.
Everybody. Freaking everybody.
Brent Venables.
Venables was there. We had,
Hey, but
I
listen,
think
then
Murray
you
was
had
there.
Gruden come over, and he's a big OU fan now.
There you
so
go.
we got all the hype.
I'm pretty sure Murray went out there. Kyler was out there for a little bit. Yeah, Gruden there. Like, everybody went out and watched that game in Omaha. That series, at least.
Yeah, Brent was in the locker room hyping him up, too.
Oh, man, I wish I'd saved
I was
that
ready to
video.
run through a wall.
I would have played that video. I wish I'd saved it.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's our season predictions out of the way. Everybody's expecting this to be a very, very good year for OU football, and I think that's pretty accurate. So season starts on September 4th. Be there, be square, right?
Yeah.
I have a question. Go to break, and we can answer it afterwards. What if Mateer goes down? Is there freshman quarterback? Is he capable of coming in and taking over?
No, it was the question I didn't want to have to answer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
well, hopefully he doesn't go down. But
well, okay, so before we go to break, I'll just throw my thoughts out there. We have that freshman quarterback that everybody's super high on. You and I, Blake, were talking about it before.
Yeah, from
we started.
Salina, Bo something.
Bentley.
Yeah.
If I don't see it, but I could see a future where that happens and the freshman comes in and just takes it by storm. I don't see it happening, but it could be something that does. That's my question.
Well, and unless he just
we think of Jamel Holloway years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, and unless Bentley just comes in and blows them all out of the water, they've got the sophomore Neubauer. So
Yeah. Again, let's hope it doesn't happen and Mateer gets
do.
a full run at a healthy season.
Mateer
Right?
looks great from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right.
He's looking big.
Yeah. Dude, I got to find a picture and show it on the screen. He had one heck of an off-season program. Hey, we're live at the Interurban out here in Yukon. We're halfway through this show. When we come back, we're doing live callers, going to get some opinions from people watching and listening at home. The Interurban, Oklahoma's meeting place since 1976. We're here with Blake Nightingale from Blake Nightingale State Farm, talking about OU football, having a great time, and again, guests coming in a second. Blake, as we go to break, tell us again how we can contact you.
Yeah, give me a call or text, 405-728-1313. Never hurts to check around, get you the best rate, and save you some money this time of year. Everyone's looking to do that, so give me a call.
And they can find you on the State Farm app as well, I believe.
Yep, absolutely. Just Google me on you can find me on State Farm or anywhere else. You can do a quote online. Make it super simple. So any way you can get a hold of me, let me take care of you. So.
All right. Let's go to break. Thanks again to the Interurban. We're back after these messages.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
What are laws on immigration? Contact Tipton Law Center in Oklahoma City at 405-209-1925. Melissa Tipton Duncans has the passion with experience with a solid foundation of knowledge in immigration law. The Tipton Law Center is located at 5909 Northwest Expressway at MacArthur and will also take cases in family law, criminal law, international law, adoptions, or readoptions. For immigration law, contact attorney Melissa Tipton Duncans at Tipton Law Center, 405-209-1925.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, spring is here. And when you need help with all your tools, lawnmowers, and more, Evans Hardware out here in Midwest City is the place to be. 1021 South Douglas Boulevard. In the springtime, lawnmower maintenance is more important than ever. And Evans Hardware, it's the place to go for all your lawnmower maintenance tools. They've got seat repair, they've got brand new handles, blade sharpeners, and cleaners, and of course, new belts line the walls as well. Remember, when you need lawnmower maintenance, power tools, stuff for the garden, and everything in between, Evans Hardware in Midwest City, 1021 South Douglas Boulevard is the place to go. Do it best here at Evans Hardware.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
It's time for a
Pete Stone.
full-service auto repair at 6505 Northwest 36th Street is ready for your visit. Come see the professionals at Full Service and ask about their many services like AC repair, brakes, oil changes, engine repair, seals and gaskets, and much, much more. English or Spanish, this locally owned auto shop provides honest work that removes the headache from auto repair. Call 405-596-9724 and trust Full Service Auto Repair to get you back in the race.
Take your training to the next level at Trinity Endurance, a brand new locally owned bike and outdoor shop in Yukon. Sitting at 501 South Mustang Road, Suite F, Trinity Endurance is more than a place to buy equipment or get a repair. The mission of Trinity Endurance is to be a place to chase goals, grow as a person, build relationships, and prepare for your next challenge, all backed by strong faith in the Lord. Call 405-345-1843 or stop by 501 South Mustang Road, Suite F to get started at Trinity Endurance. This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm Insurance Agent, located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like I get good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there.
And welcome back, everybody. This is the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Blake, and Luke over here. And then we have Daniel also. Nightingale, you want to tell us a little bit about what you do for a second?
Yeah, State Farm agent here locally off Expressway, just west of the Canes over there, next to the Target. And we do all kinds of stuff, auto, home, life. Very competitive rates right now. Excited to help people. You can call or text me at 405-728-1313.
Perfect. Yeah, we're here at the Interurban. They've got a bunch of good stuff. We got a little sample platter with some mozzarella sticks, pickles, cheese curds, a bunch of nice little sauces over there. They're taking great care of us. They're going to take care of you. Been here since 1976, if you can believe it. So, what, 50 years?
Yeah.
If my math is right? Yeah, we're here doing the OU preview. We're taking some callers here in just a moment. We're trying to get some Zoom links sent, but in the meantime, they've got a bunch of good stuff here. The Heather's mac and cheese with a little honey pepper bacon on it. It's delicious. Brownie sundae is awesome. The turtle cheesecake, don't sleep on that. And then they've got a bunch of little Tex-Mex stuff, fan favorites, burgers, all sorts of stuff.
It's very good. I don't know what I'm going to order today. Probably a burger. But usually I get the honey pepper bacon. It's pretty good. And we do have our first live caller.
We do?
Has come by and joined the call. So, Blake, this is someone you know. I'll let you do the introductions.
Can you hear me? Is it muted? You got it? Yeah, JG Smooth, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Oh, we're doing all right. We're doing some OU football, but first I want to ask you about how our shows are doing.
Oh, well, it's very interesting. We've lost a lot to the portal and to graduation, but we've got All-American quarterback back. We've got some exciting freshmen, some exciting transfers. So, I mean, I think we should have a successful season once again.
Good stuff. And we'll go ahead and get on into some OU stuff if you're down for that. What would you say is your prediction for this coming year for OU football?
Like just record wise, or just like overall?
We just did record. What do you think the record's going to be right around?
Oh, well, that's tough.
That's what we said.
I'd say 9-3. I guess I feel like a lot of hints on if the offense in general shows improvement, but specifically the offensive line, that'll control a lot. I think help keeping John Mateer upright and healthy, and I think helping a stagnant run game get back to the level of where OU run game should be. I think will determine a lot of what makes this season successful for them.
So from your perspective, who would you put money on being the highest in yardage for running backs this year? Who do you think is going to be our standout for us?
I really like Xavier Robinson. I always favor power backs when there's questions on the offensive line, just because those guys are normally harder to bring down. They normally fall forward, and they normally get a couple of extra yards more than, say, a smaller speed back in these cases. So, and based on what I've seen, I just really like the way that he runs. And so I would ideally think that Xavier Robinson probably has a good chance.
I like it.
I like that.
Is it my turn to ask a question?
Go for it.
Okay. In your opinion, where do those 3 losses sit? What teams are going to get to us?
Let's see. Probably at Georgia's interesting. I really like what Texas has this year. I don't know. I feel like Michigan's going to be different under Kyle Whittingham. I feel like it's going to be a different Michigan team than what came to Norman. And, the big house is a very tough place to play at, and it's an early season game. So those three, I think, give me the most concerns. Texas A&M is not going to be a gimme, but they do have them in Norman. But if I had to choose three, I guess it'd be Michigan, Georgia, and Texas at this point.
I think for the most part, we've all kind of agreed that Georgia is most likely going to be a loss. But I think a lot of us are actually kind of thinking, OU might get to Texas this year. I don't know if you've heard the news recently that's come out of their preseason stuff, but I don't know. We're not completely convinced with Texas.
Yeah, I mean, you never can be. I feel like they don't live up to their potential, but yeah, I mean that's a toss-up game. I'll give you that. But
yeah.
I think the rest of the schedule though is extremely manageable. I just think talent-wise, it's probably on par. So I could see a loss there. I could see a win there. So
yep.
I get where you guys are coming from as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going is I see Michigan kind of that's going to be kind of the pivotal moment, if you will, in the season with the winner or loss. That's kind of going to determine how the rest of the games go, in my opinion. I gave them a loss at Georgia and at Florida, so just going to Gainesville is tough as it is, and it's super hard to win there.
So let me ask you this: with some of the additions that we've got this year, who's the most exciting for you to see? Like some of the tight ends we got, just some of the new coach with Witten. Like, what excites you most about our offense? You said it earlier about how it's going to really be contingent on how our offensive plays this year. Is there anything that's just like, man, I'm ready to see this out of them this year?
Probably the receiving core. I mean, you got Shatanga back, which is good. They brought in Trell Harris from Virginia, who was a very big part of why they went on to win the ACC, went on to make the ACC championship game and have the season that they had. I think just overall offense across the board, I like what they did. The tight end and the running back they brought in from Colorado State. I feel like they just have better weapons than what they had last year. I think that also was part of the problem, besides from John Mateer being hurt and coming back and not being 100%. But I think the big difference is probably just going to be the offensive line in general, because without them, it's going to be tough to get the ball into the hands of the new playmakers like a Trell Harris, or the tight ends that you mentioned, or even the running back from Colorado State.
Let me ask you this on kind of the broader scale, talking about coaches. What do you think of Venable's new contract, his 6-year extension?
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think every year he's been there. Well, I guess you had that the first year in the SEC aside. I felt like they've improved every year. I feel like they're getting closer to maybe where they were in the early mid 2000s when he was the DC there with Bob Stoops. At least defensively, I'm seeing more of that, and that's something that, as an OU fan, it's been a long time since I've felt this encouraged or happy or satisfied about a defense down there in Norman. I just think offensively, if he can get that figured out, I don't see why they couldn't be making deep playoff runs. I think that's the only thing holding them back. So I don't have a problem with the contract extension. He's building it the right way. There seems to be a good culture there. He seems to be able to replace one coach with another really good coach. So I don't have any concerns about them giving him that contract at this point in time.
Ooh, feeling like it's early 2000s defense. I love it.
Told you this is my football guy right here.
Go ahead, Blake. Yeah, another.
Yeah. So I was kind of saying earlier that I think OU will be somewhere in the top 15 defensively. Do you think that they can make a really deep playoff run if the offense can just kind of meet them in the middle and be a 20 somewhere between 20 and 30 ranked offense?
I would like to say so, but the fact that they've yet to win a playoff game and just the past, roughly 10, 15 or so years.
That's fair.
Even when we were talking about, you go back to the whole BCS Bowl fiasco stuff. It's just tough with their lack of success and for like meaningful postseason games to say that. Now, I think if they can get the monkey off their back and get that first playoff win, then yeah, I think they could most definitely make a run at that point. It's tough for me to say that without seeing that playoff win, even in games where they've had the lead and lost it. Right? It's just I feel like I got to see that first win first before I can say, okay, yes, they can make a run, because now we've seen they can win in the postseason. That's just my feeling on it.
That's fair.
All right, I think my last question for you, sir, is what is your hot take for the Oklahoma Sooners this season? He's got so many of them.
That's a good one. I don't know.
JG is quite the hot take artist.
That's a good. That's a good one. I don't know what they averaged offensively last year. I don't know where that was. I would say though they have a chance, in my opinion, to at least average. I would say my hot take is they can average 30 a game this year. I think if the offensive line holds up, give Mateer time to do what Mateer does with the new weapons and an improved run game, balance offensively, and the defense playing the way that they do, I truly believe offensively they could probably average 30 points a game this year.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all for me. I kind of think of this as this season for this OU team, kind of, it's not going to be a one-for-one parallel because the 2000 Ravens were just unbelievable on defense. But I think it can be kind of similar as long as everything holds up health-wise and everything like that. Brent just loves defense, so I do believe that they can be kind of in that ballpark as far as like the college parallel, if you will.
So here's the 2025 offensive averages, if you guys want to hear that.
Go for it.
So it was 26.2 points per game, 342 yards per game total. Out of that, passing was 235, rushing was roughly 108 per game. That's just not going to cut it, right? Like, I think the champions out there are going to be getting closer to 130, 150 per game at minimum. So 108 was pretty surprising in my opinion.
Yeah. We got to get to another caller.
All right. I mean, I've got no other questions. So, any other question? Anything you want to ask or guess?
I probably have a million of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jonathan, just real quick, go ahead and tell everybody about your show on YouTube.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I run the Show podcast that can be found on Spotify, and I run the Show Podcast Network YouTube channel. It's all about the University of Central Oklahoma football. It's a very exciting brand of football. Grayson Miller, who is the punter for OU All-American candidate, started his career down there in Edmond. So anybody that likes to see local talents at a high level, I highly encourage give us a watch. We've got a beautiful stadium for the D2 level. We've got a really exciting quarterback, Jet Huff. He's all of 5'8", so for the OU fans that like Baker Mayfield, this is kind of our version of him.
Yeah.
But that's where you can find me on those platforms. But no, I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and I always enjoy talking football in general, but especially in-state football and some OU and some UCO talk.
Oh yeah. Well, it was good to talk to you, John. We'll see you in a little bit.
Good luck to
all right,
UCO
sir. Take
football.
care. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. That's our first live caller of the show. Great guest, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Good
JG
job,
Smooth
buddy.
right there.
Hey, can't match that UCO stadium. It's beautiful, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I've gotten to.
he's been doing UCO football for the past 10 years.
I've gotten to go down there for high school playoffs now, and oh man,
It's a nice stadium.
It's a nice stadium.
A Broncho alum, and they've seemed to put it together the last few years. So hopefully they have another great year this year.
Yeah, undefeated this year.
I did not know that you were
Yeah.
a UCO alum.
Yeah.
Is that the both of you then?
Yep.
I'm
Roll Chose.
2 Blakes and 2 Chose. Yeah.
And 2 Southwestern Christian University.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as we wait for our next guest, I'll give you some news here, right? This is not exactly football specific, but it'll kind of give you a hint of what we're doing on our last segment. OU baseball, since we were talking about them earlier after their national championship, they actually had a docuseries put out about it on ESPNU.
Oh, yeah, I did
recently.
go back and watch that.
Yeah, I think it's still on ESPNU if people want to go back and find it.
Yeah.
So not obviously exactly football related, but if you want to find out what it takes to win a national championship, what that team went through is one of the most incredible
That
stories
was
you'll
a
ever hear.
gauntlet.
What about some of the decisions that they made, right, to kind of rely on your freshmen in those moments and kind of change the dynamic of the team altogether? Huge shout out to how they stayed together and kind of fought through that and figured it out at the right time. So
Man,
Vance got hot, and the pitching was insane.
It was awesome.
That comeback against Georgia Tech.
Oh, that was crazy.
I was in the middle of my show. Luke was so excited he had to come in and give a report real quick.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic
Yeah.
comeback.
Hey, you know what? That's one of the things that I love. That when we talk about the BCS era, like, and just having the 2 teams in the championship, like the hot run from Indiana, like that's what makes sports. Like giving these teams that are pretty decent a chance at the end to make a run and go do something special, even if you have a couple hiccups in the season. No one would have thought OU given the chance, especially with the route they had to go, but they got hot, man.
They get hot, and yeah, that was one of my favorite memories. Was running back into the studio, walk-off home run, dead center field.
Well, yeah, our friends at Integrity said 99% chance.
Yeah, right. 99% chance. Very confident.
Very confident.
Y'all have any, by the way, news you've heard out of OU's preseason stuff, things you wanted to touch on?
I haven't been able to look.
No, there was a little bit of injury update for Mikayla. They're starting
Actually,
center.
I've seen a lot of injuries.
And they don't expect it to be long-lasting, but that's going to be something to think about. I know Foger's been doing some reps there, but you don't want anything happening to the line this year. You need them all healthy, in my opinion. So hopefully that's the case. And I think even Torrey had a little bit of a hiccup, right?
Mm-hmm. I've got that headline that you were talking about. Starting center Jake Mikula did not suffer a season-ending injury in that scrimmage they were at. So I did have the news on that, but
So how's OU's depth? I mean, if there is injuries, how is the depth? Have you heard how good the depth is?
It's not as good as what it was last year.
They lost a lot to the draft.
We have a lot of studs on defense, but it's not, the depth isn't as big. But they do have some playmakers still. And I think our line is the best, in my opinion, it's been in a long time. And we do have some
really
guys.
good.
So hopefully we just kind of keep clear of the injury bug, because we've had it.
there were a lot of injuries for that Auburn scrimmage. I saved the picture there. It's like Deion Burks was out, Taylor Tatum was out, Gentry Williams was out, Dolby was out, Gibson was out. They had Anderson was out. Like they had a pretty lengthy injury report, though it is obviously a preseason scrimmage.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and there's a lot of games, right? A lot of head games as the season goes on with that injury report. It's kind of funny to watch it throughout the week, but
yeah,
hopefully we have a healthy season ahead of us. So
I hope so too. Some more news. David Stone was named one of the captains of the Sooners this year.
That's right.
He's a homegrown junior on the DL. Yeah, defensive line.
Yep.
Homegrown junior named the captain. So just wanted to shout out him there as well. Always cool to see homegrown talent come up and be successful, right?
Hey, everything come from campus. He's a stud, and he is just disrupting everything. So the more that they put eyes on him and have to double team him, and he disrupts, the more the Kip Lewises and the Heineke's can get down the field and go. Yeah, and so it'll be fun to watch them this year.
Yeah, the only thing with the defensive line is our Mason Thomas is now in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little bit tougher.
What a stud, and he's doing some big things down there already. So
as much as it pains me that he's a Chief now.
Just tell me about it. But actually, that's another question for you both. How does OU fill a gap like that? Is it just strictly one guy has to step up, or do they have to make some sort of defensive play call adjustment?
Part of why I think Venables got the extension he did is a lot of teams are starting to mimic how we run our front office, and I think it's fantastic. I think it rivals what the Thunder do, right? How much positivity is around the Thunder, but we're doing a lot of great moves right now. I think our drafting, our portal, all of it, I think it's positioned us to have playmakers that are younger, that are ready to come up and ready to execute when given the chance. And so, I don't know. I'm excited about a lot of the young players, and that's what you see from the Georgias and the Alabamas, right? Those true freshmen come in, they're just studs, and then kind of show up and show out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Again, we get circle back to the quarterback that we've been talking about. I don't know much about the guy, but if it is the kid from Salina, I have personal experience with how good Salina is. So
Salina's good.
When they get a good football team going, they get a good football team going.
Yep.
He was 14-0, like in the vein of Tuttle Tigers last year type good.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, by the way, shout out Tuttle. We're broadcasting their football again this year, so maybe another trip to UCO.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It will be
I'll
fun.
get to go to the old stomping grounds.
Yeah. That reminds me, they start on August 28th, which is when Oklahoma State starts. I don't know how closely y'all keep up with Oklahoma State at all, but we were kind of joking about them talking before the show.
Can't get any worse. I think it's –
It'd be very hard to get worse.
If you're a fan base for the Cowboys, it just breathes a breath of fresh air. Just to get something different. So I think they're going to be optimistic. I think they're going to kind of, the best thing about the OSU season last year was all those dads taking their shirts off, twisting around.
With the empty stands.
Yeah, so I think this year it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Honestly, I'll be intrigued. I'll watch some of their games.
I'll probably tune in a little bit, but the thing is they're kind of playing with house money this season because last year was scratched with Mike Gundy getting fired and all that. So I think it'll be a lot more interesting this year because I think they could probably get right around 500 because nobody expects anything out of them. So
programs like that don't allocate the resources they need, they're falling behind. And so think about some of the studs that have gone through that program, Des Bryant, all the great
Blackman.
all the great offensive players. It almost seems like it's never going to happen again for them, and I hope it does. Being in the Big 12, it does give them a little bit more opportunity, but they're going to have to figure out how they're going to recruit, and maybe it starts with homegrown, but they're going to have to figure it out.
Actually, that question I asked them, hot take. I haven't asked you guys yet.
Yeah.
What's a hot take y'all have for this year?
I would say we will be able to space out the field a lot more this year. From what I've heard from camp, is Satania, and Latrell Harris is getting off the ball. And so last year, man, we just didn't have that. Like it was, hey, double up Satania or lock him down, and we have nobody. And so I really do think our offensive yards are going to be a lot higher this year. Obviously, we got to have a better running game, but I think we're going to open up the field a lot more this year, which leads into my point of if we can have a competent offense, we're going to go a long ways. So
I have heard the same things, especially about Satania. So I expect him to have another good season. He is the one.
Yeah.
So expect him to be utilized like it and targeted like he is the one. Benjamin McCreary, it's his birthday today, by the way. Just saw that pop up on my feed. So happy birthday, McCreary. Reps number 24 for the Sooners.
Nice.
Blake, you got a hot take, and then we'll kick it to Daniel for his hot take.
Trying to think.
Do we need to go Daniel first?
Yeah, go Daniel first.
I didn't hear what you said. Was it
What's a hot take you have for the Sooners this year?
national championship?
Well, that's not a hot take. That's your take every year.
Well, I'm excited to see the running game. If I was going to pick the favorite thing about football, it's a running game. I've always watched running backs. My brother was a running back in high school, and I loved watching him. And I think of all the running backs OU has had over the years. I don't know. I really like the running back. I like what the offensive line, I believe, is going to be better. I believe they're going to score a lot of points, and I hope I'm saying the hot take right. But I'm just all Sooner. Not know much knowledge of football, but I love the Sooners. So. And you know what else is really cool? I want to say a big shout out to Grandview Windows and Doors. They're out there listening to the broadcast. Gary and a guy there by the name of John Hickman that works there. Does play-by-play for
Who's that guy?
Bethany High School. But they're great people. Great windows and doors, all that you need. And here in a little bit, I have a question for Blake about insurance because it's very interesting question. So anyway, go ahead.
Well,
I'll go to the very end of the limb and say one of the OU running backs will be a Heisman candidate.
I wondered if one of us was going to say something about a dark horse Heisman candidate today.
Either Xavier or Torrey will be a Heisman candidate.
I feel like if that's going to be the case, they can't split time, though. It'd have to be one that is the day in, day out workhorse.
I think they'll
That's
get
why
there.
I'm going to the end of the limb.
It may break, but we'll get there.
It might break. I don't know.
That's funny. All right, well, I've got some stuff I want y'all to think about when we go to break because this is the last and final segment coming up here, obviously. College football has changed the rules on eligibility again. We've got pro players coming back to play. I don't think it's in D1 yet. Blake's giving you a clear reaction to that, but we'll talk about some of that stuff and the overarching college football landscape. But we got to go to break. Danny, you had a question for Nightingale?
Well, I was just going to – Blake, I experienced something about 2 weeks ago. I had a last-minute drive to Tulsa, so I'm driving, and I'm going to get in the left lane. Somebody's going a little slow, but I'm not speeding, right?
Right.
And for once, thank God I wasn't speeding. I'm looking in. I'm blinding my left eye. I'm in the left lane, and all of a sudden I see this car tire bouncing across Interstate 44, and right in front of me. It was at least 100 yards away from me. It's not like it was a near miss. But if I had been speeding, that might have been a different story. But my thought is insurance, the thought of those type of unbelievable, never would happen in a million years, happen to you. Is there any kind of thing to look for insurance and something like that?
Yeah.
What if that caused a big old massive wreck there? It didn't hit anything. It just bounced across the highway. Somebody next to me slowed down, and I slowed down, but it was time enough to slow down.
Well, that's why I encourage everybody, you never want to know what type of coverage you have at a time of a loss.
Yes.
You want to know before. So that's one thing. Hey, you can call the Lizard and go online and not talk to anybody, but we all know that's frustrating. So call somebody, call a person, call me, and know what coverage you have so that when those type of things happen, you can feel confident in it. So
very good.
How can they call you?
Yeah, 405-728-1313. Stop by, get you an appetizer here at Interurban on the way, and we'll do a double special here for you.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, let's head to break. Remember, this is at the Interurban Oklahoma's meeting place since 1976. We're sitting out here by the patio. They've got a bar for people that want to come by, grab some drinks, and watch the games, but they also have plenty of booze and tables for large parties as well. I'm sure they do some events, and they've got specials like the gumbo.
And you know what else they have? It was really cool because he told me this. Brent, the general manager, been here for years. He said, hey, if y'all want, you can go back to the private party room. And they've got, I went back, there's a TV, big table. So if you ever want a private party, they've got it right here at the Interurban.
Oh, yeah, and on Tuesdays they have $9.99 burgers. And then Thursday is $9.99 enchiladas. So you go Cholinos first, and then you come here on Thursday.
So, yeah, book this party room for OU versus Georgia. Get you some Heather's mac and cheese. And I bet it's going to be a great day for us. So
we're going to have a game day show out here on September 4th when Mustang and UConn play. And, of course, we're going to be talking about the Sooners opening game that Friday night.
Yep.
That'll be a fun one. We might have to get some more live callers in for that one. That'll be good. All right, let's go to break. We got one more segment when we come back. Stick around here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk.
Ship It Sooner at 210 North Mustang Mall Terrace is your packaging and shipping headquarters for Mustang and the surrounding area, using all major carriers. Sign up now for your private mailbox and enjoy the benefits a post office box does not offer. Faxing, printing, copies, notary service, and passport photos. Ship It Sooner is locally owned and operated. Call 405-256-6264 or go to shipitsooner.com.
Hi, I'm Trinity. I'm with Red River Credit Corporation. I've been with the loan service for about 2 years. We'd love to help you with your auto or signature loans. We are located at 1081 South Cornwall Drive in Suite 401, Yukon, Oklahoma. Our phone number is 405-354-1930. We offer no credit checks on our clear and free title. Our title loans are a quick service, no credit check needed. Just come in with your vehicle and your title and we get you taken care of. We offer electronic closing. If you're a former borrower or an established loan here, we can help you from the comfort of your house. We're a quick and friendly service and we'd love to meet you for the first time. Stop by and see us today.
Tire, oil. At 39 Tire Express, you get expert service for your vehicle, including tire repair and replacement, oil changes, and second opinions. The crew at 39 Tire Express offers friendly and professional service backed by years of experience in the industry, and they're right down the road from you. Stop by 39 Tire Express at 7020 Northwest 39th Expressway today, and see why 39 Tire and Express is the go-to option for tire and oil change needs. Remember, it's all local at 39 Tire, 7020 Northwest 39th Expressway, and keep an eye out for their new hours coming soon. Tire. Oil.
When technology has you screaming at the office, call Simplify Tech Solutions at 405-981-1011. Located at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, Simplify Tech Solutions features IT management, business phone systems, manages Wi-Fi, and offers repair and support. Simplify your Wi-Fi before the emotional breakdown by calling Simplify Tech Solutions. Locally owned and operated at 405-981-1011. 405-981-1011. Simplify Tech Solutions.
Name brands and more for less at Victory Mattress Outlet. Welcome to Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Family-owned and operated Victory Mattress Outlet has options for every budget, like quality 10-inch beds to high-end luxury mattresses fit for a king. You're the winner here. Shop pillows, protectors, bedroom sets, and more. And remember, the friendly people at Victory Mattress Outlet can help deliver, assemble, and set up your mattresses and furniture. Call 405-510-6988 and never pay retail price for top brands again. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, 405-510-6988. That's 405-510-6988. Victory Mattress Outlet, where your best night's sleep costs less.
Stephanie's Vintique and the Plaster Paint Company is all Oklahoma made at 3821 Asbury in Bethany, featuring vintage, chalk paint, antiques, clothing, vegan soaps and lotion, homemade cards, decor, and furniture. And space is available for rent to start your own business at Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company. Call 405-249-3604 and see why people are coming from all over the metro for this paint and decor. Or you can visit us at theplasterpaintcompany.com and also see us on Facebook. Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company in Bethany. Start your Vintique experience.
It's Girls' Day every day at Retro Rebel Boutique in Yukon, 1010 Garth Brooks Boulevard, Suite 110. If you are looking for style and fashion for women and children at an affordable price, shop at Retro Rebel and see the amazing selection of clothing and jewelry we have to offer. Tops, bottoms, hats, footwear, we've got it all at Retro Rebel Boutique. We sell beautiful jewelry like our diamond earrings and pearl necklaces, and with our one-of-a-kind jewelry creation service, you get to choose your bling. New arrivals come in constantly, and Oliver & Co. fragrances paired with gift cards make perfect gifts for those close to you. Call 405-868-7719 or stop by 1010 Garth Brooks Boulevard, Suite 110 in Yukon.
This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. It's the fourth and final segment here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. We're rounding out our show out here at the Interurban with some breaking news, stuff we missed, live updates, and maybe just one more caller here. But first, we've been at the Interurban in Yukon, of course, 11316. This is not the only location they have around the OKC metro area, but this is our favorite. Call 405-324-8362. Remember, they can seat you and your whole party with some delicious food on their giant menu out here. Everything from burgers to Tex-Mex to the desserts. and anything in between. Open until 9 p.m. tonight. Happy hour is from 3 to 6. We've been here with Blake Nightingale State Farm, which, again, just happy to have you on. Thank you so much for doing this show.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I say there's a happy hour every day at my office, saving people money. Give me a call, 405-728-1313. Give us a call, and we'll definitely be able to take care of you.
That's a lot of happy hours.
It is. And I must confess, I got to tell you that it was a while back. I had to change insurance companies because it got so high. I went to Blake, and they saved me over $200
there you go.
a month. I'm telling you,
happy
they
hour
work
all
hard.
over.
They look. They
That's
work,
a real happy
they
hour.
Go after. Yeah, I was very happy.
Yeah.
They had to calm me down. No. Anyway, it's very good. I just thought I'd mention that just to mention it.
Go to the website, download the State Farm app. Plenty of ways to get in contact with you, and you've got super friendly people in the office as well.
Absolutely. Give us a call.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our final segment here. Let me put out a quick call real quick, and we'll see if she answers. We've got an OU professional looking to come by. Yeah, OU professional. Let's see here.
Hello.
There you go. You're live. Real quick, tell us what's up.
OU is amazing, and they're going to win, and I love them so much.
A national championship, right?
Absolutely.
14-0, right?
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yep. Our
Daniel likes it.
Host just said his kind of talk. You got it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I know you got a newborn to go take care of, so I'll let you go real quick. But Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner, baby.
An OU professional right
love
there.
It, love it.
Come on, what'd I tell you?
A true pro right there.
We're going to win it all.
She knows what she's talking about.
Let's hope. Let's hope she's right, right?
That's what live callers are for right there.
I will never be upset with 15-0.
All right, let's round this thing out. I asked you guys to think about this and break so we can give you your opinions. But the rules have changed for college eligibility again, and now we've got reports that some actual pros are coming back to play college football, i.e. what happened with basketball earlier on. What is going on in college football right now?
Money grab, power grab. We kind of got away from the whole education is worth something, right? I think it's a glorified business.
What?
I could not be more surprised if the SEC just decides to create their own deal, right? Why not? I mean, it's a business now.
It's basically professional sports.
Yeah. So, I mean, now you got this crap. It's comical. I mean, you open the floodgates. There hasn't been much parameters or rules in regards to the NIL money. It's kind of just a wild, wild west out there. And, the bigger programs are going to continue to feast off of it. So we'll see how it goes. And Lane Kiffin's never going to back down his opportunity to be a little snake, right?
No. Dan Hurley, a little bit ago, shared his thoughts in a quote, said, "If compliance says something is illegal and we can't do it, or a player is ineligible based on the rules, our reaction as a university isn't let's go find a lawyer." Kind of taking shots at how athletes and their agents and the schools are handling this situation. But, again, it's definitely a different time from what it has been.
So it's not just college sports. What happens is the trickle effect, right? Like, you've got D2, D3 programs that, you've got 5-year seniors coming back, and, now you got NIL in the high school ranks. And so, you've got some players making more money than their teachers that they're sitting in the classrooms with, right? So they got to get their hands around it, I think, to really kind of save the integrity of the game. I mean, if the fact that you have all these older people playing the sports and doing it purposefully, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I was personally thinking that we were done with the 37-year-old freshmen that were playing college sports, but what some of what's happening is some of these players are getting out of college, declaring for the draft, going into training camp, finding out that they're probably not going to make the team, and then coming back is what I have the real problem with. Is you're a grown individual. You don't need to be going back and playing college ball with 19-year-olds.
I've said for the longest time, if they could just figure out what the eligibility is, the rest will fall in place.
Yep.
But they just cannot figure out what they want the eligibility rules to be, whether that's legal pressure, whether that's trying to get the best of both worlds and not coming away with much of anything. What's stopping them? Why can they not set something straight?
Well, and I also don't know what the legalese of it is, but I think that there needs to be something in there that obviously there isn't, because otherwise people wouldn't be able to come back to school. They need to have something to where if you declare for the draft or declare for anything going elsewhere, you're not allowed to come back.
They're trying something with the 5-for-5 rule, but clearly that's not being too much help.
The problem though is, you've got players, and you want players to be loyal to the program, but then you got grown-ups, right, like Lane Kiffin, who has something better. Now, I'm all for somebody better in their situation, making more money, doing what's best for their family, but how do you ask 19-year-olds to be loyal to a program and stay around, and then you got coaches who can be fired on a pretty decent season if the ownership wants to do it, or they're going to go and find another spot. I mean, who was it? Brian Kelly. I mean, come on, dude. Just on the plane ride saying, peace out, I'm out of here. Like, there's just a lot going on with college sports that they need to fix, especially around football, that I think it would make it a little bit better. Like you said, figuring out eligibility, figuring out ways. I like the idea of only having one transfer and then being done. Like, why is a kid going 3 different places? Like, there needs to be some loyalty. There needs to be some parameters around that. But until they get it figured out, it's going to just continue to be power grab. And OU will get some benefit of it, but the Georgias and the LSUs and all them will get a lot of it. Alabamas, they'll get a lot of benefit of it, leaving teams like Oklahoma State and all those programs in the dust, honestly.
No, have nothing against NIL. I mean, they have been treated like employees for so long. Their name, image, and likeness has been used for so long that I do think players are deserving of something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. They've just been way too loose.
Yeah, they've been
with
using their stuff for forever and not getting any compensation for it, so I have no problem with NIL.
I've said it as the NCAA is trying to have the best of both worlds. They're trying to get the benefit of being able to use them like a pro image while also keeping them restricted to what amateur had meant in the past.
Yeah. Is this a developmental league for the NFL, or is this just a glorified NFL
It has been for
version?
about 15 years.
Yeah. So, and you got to know that, because if it's a development league, then, should college players be making millions of dollars? Or are they developing to get ready for NFL teams to then make that money there? I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. And then you get into the whole revenue sharing among revenue sports and non-revenue sports and how the school approaches that while they're giving out NIL money, what the funding is. So it's definitely a headache, and I definitely think the league is losing its grip. So what you mentioned of the SEC forming its own thing, that has been a rumor, a discussion for a little bit, but wasn't there recently some legal decision that was supposed to block them in the Big Ten?
Yeah, there is some legal system that they're trying to get through. I don't know if it'll go anytime soon, but I mean, if there's a way, SEC is going to find it. So
that's a fair
SEC
point.
and the Big Ten will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got a lot of these players that are making millions and then transferring. Like you're paying a player $10 million, $8 million, $7 million, whatever a year. So if they're really good, and then they can just go up and change to different, or Mateer, right? He made pretty good on NIL money. I don't know the exact numbers for last year. Played half the season. Does he pay that back? Do you just get to keep it? Like, there's just so many things that they should regulate and talk about, because it's just kind of a free fall. Everyone just gets paid.
Oh, we're within probably 5 years of them doing a salary cap type of situation.
Yeah.
And what you mentioned about the NIL coming down to high school, we actually had heard that recently with Mustang.
Yep.
They had local players. I think a quarterback that transferred in was getting some serious money. That is, in my opinion, definitely too far to go down to high school.
That's too much.
Yeah, that is absolutely too far. But this is one of the rare occasions where I think, like MLB having a lockout that's about to happen, I think college football should have a lockout and not play a season. But, I mean, then you kind of almost run up on the same COVID eligibility problem. It's not going to happen, but I think the idea of everything just needs to stop and they need to hammer this out.
Yeah. Make it make sense and put the rules in place, and then tweak it a little bit. But they just left it wide open from the very beginning. They just said, here's where we're at. We're making this ruling, and I would have liked it to be more strict, like you said, maybe put some salary caps early, and then if we're like, okay,
we're within probably 5 years of a salary cap.
Well, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
At least to give the smaller schools a chance, right?
Yeah.
No. Which, again, I still don't like that we don't play OSU anymore. I
And-
think there's value for in-house, in-state rivalries.
Well, I mean, that's the only reason that OU went to the SEC is because Texas left.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you're talking NIL, name, image, and likeness, and they're trying to give it to a 17 or 18-year-old that isn't, advertising himself in any way. You're just giving money just so you can win at the high school level. It's a joke. It really is, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you perfectly there. Thing is, with high school right now, it seems like it's still so new that the players that are getting it seem to be well along their way. Like, they know that they're going to do something big. They know how to handle that. But at the college level, right, I don't think they're teaching any finance class like surrounding this, how to deal with it.
Well,
they've just got to find their agents and sit on a pile of money for 4 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they don't get any type of education with that, and they're saying, oh, I got this $10 million or whatever sitting in the bank. It's like, no, you don't. You got about 6, maybe.
Yeah.
And then whatever other fees you got to pay.
Speaking of NIL, how do we fix the tampering issues, right? So we talked about the Lane Kiffin leaving mid-season on a CFB team that's going to make the playoff, and then potentially talking to players mid-season, right? And it's not necessarily the players. Would you think it's probably their agents, right? Trying to make more money, trying to tell their team, trying to tell their players, hey, if you get in the portal, you can make this much money. Because why? Because they get paid if they get bigger contracts. But I think there's got to be some regulation around that. Would you agree?
It's punishment. Punishment has to be the regulation.
Yeah.
Can't allow that to happen. I mean, I feel like the closest we've gotten so far was Sorsby, Brendan Sorsby in Tech, and not letting him come back. But that's probably about, like I said, the closest we've gotten. I don't know if there's been anything more strict than that.
So my elementary idea is they got to change the portal and decision-making timeframes so that programs aren't pushing these coaches to leave their teams midseason. I think that's a joke. Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss in a prime spot, I just think it's a bush league. Like, stay with your team, and I know why they do that, because you have all these signings, and if you don't, you're going to miss out. They need to have a right season for when it's going to be signing until after the playoff. Move it all back. It's not even legal to talk to anybody. Push it all back. Let the coaches finish with the people that they started with. Blood, sweat, and tears at the beginning of the season. Promises made, promises kept.
I like it. I think you put that very eloquently way right there. So I like that. Move it back. I hadn't even considered yet just switching when the window was open.
Yeah.
I hadn't considered that. Blake, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he pretty much hit the nail on the head, so I don't have really anything to add.
College sports are simultaneously at the best time in their existence and one of the worst times in its existence, it feels like right now, with how many questions they have to deal with and things that are going on. But we've got more news from just around the league. So Alabama football named Keelan Russell their starting quarterback. He beat Austin Mack for the job. So we've got at least one set there. And then you guys had some more news that we mentioned before coming into this segment.
Yeah, I think the Vols went with the true freshman as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs this year. But it'll be interesting to see how all these quarterbacks in the SEC lined out. There's a lot of pressure on them. So
now more than ever. I mean, after everything we just said, everybody I'm seeing on social media has all come to the same opinion, though. College football should be played by college players. Shout out the 3-year Letterman. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. The question is just what's the path to get there? It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the proper schooling to know the answers to that, so.
I don't know if anybody does at this point. To be honest, I don't know if anybody
their lawyers
does.
and agents do. They just won't say anything.
It's got to start small, make some decisions around it, see what's not working. Like you said, maybe a holdout is what needs to happen, but you got to start somewhere. And I think it starts with capping the amount of money you can spend on players and changing out the time frame for when they can go and get the portal and hopefully regulate some of this, because it's too good of a product. It's too good of a product to come out and make this happen.
I agree. the people in the stands prove that.
Yeah.
How good a product is, that they still come out and support every week, and the tailgates and the game day atmosphere and everything that goes on with even the national broadcast, like having College Game Day out somewhere. It's too good of a product to let go. So, at some point, it's got to hit a breaking point.
Yeah.
Right. So, hopefully it's sooner rather than later, so we get it fixed sooner. But
Agreed.
Well, let's end this show with the last 10 minutes we have on a higher note, a brighter note, I think. Blake and I, Vance, were talking before we started the show, and I asked him, what was the last game you went to? Because I've been to a lot of OU games for a variety of different reasons, but the last one I went to as just a fan was Oklahoma versus Nebraska 5 years ago, where we saw one of the craziest interceptions that has ever been made on a football field.
Oh, wow.
I was there live for that game. That's the last one I went to personally.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I can't believe that was 5 years ago, first off. It feels like last year.
It feels like forever ago, and at the same time yesterday.
Yeah. But I still remember watching that play down the sideline, and it happens. I turn and look at my buddy up there in the stands, and we both are shocked. We can't believe what we just saw.
Yeah.
Maybe the most athletic play I've ever seen on a football field in person. So what was the last game you guys went to?
The last game I went to was Rhett Bomar was the quarterback. So I don't remember a whole lot of it.
I went to
I remember Adrian Pearson went nuts, though.
I went to the OU Missouri game. It was pretty cold. Pretty
believe
cold
it.
that day. Gosh, it just felt towards the end of the season. You had hope, but it was like we were on pins and needles every game that we were going to hopefully ride out. I mean, every game was less than a touchdown spread, it felt like. So, but, what I'll say about that, if we have a couple minutes to talk about, I gave Ben Arbuckle a lot of crap early on. Hey, this offense is very vanilla. There's not a whole lot of movement. And when you see it on the field from a high standpoint, let me say this. There were opportunities that Mateer missed. And so if he misses a lot of those opportunities this year, whether that was offensive linemen not giving him enough time or him just not seeing the field properly, but he needs to be better this year because Arbuckle schemed some receivers open for sure.
Daniel, if you have an answer, what was the last OU game you had to go to?
That was so long ago, y'all probably wouldn't remember, but it was the Team of Love. Blake, I know his name, I can't think of it now. John Blake. There you go, John Blake. But that was the last one. And I still believed OU was going to win a national championship.
There you go. That's some big faith right there.
But I really like John Blake. You go back on opinions and all that. But OU is doing good. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed every game I've ever been to OU. It's been a while since I've been to an OU game. But I watch every one of them, and I listen to the game on the radio. And I watch the games.
There you go.
It's fun.
What is the best part about OU football game day? If you're out there at the Palace, on the prairie as they call it, what's the best part of it?
I think when the Boomer Sooner starts in the crowd and then the bells come on before the video, watching the video, it just gives chills, gets everybody get going. So love that part.
Yeah, it's been so long. I can't even remember the game day atmosphere. I used to work down there during game days, but it was a bunch of really hyped up OU fans with intoxicants.
What? I don't believe that for a second.
Nope.
No. That's why I mostly down there was working. But the last one I went to work, just get reminded, man, what it's like to be there pregame as they take the field. Yeah. As the band does their thing, Pride of Oklahoma. Nothing else on the planet is quite like that.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yep.
I've been lucky enough to be field side while they're playing. I've seen a touchdown get caught right in front of my face working one of those OU games. And then that place goes nuts, and it's something special.
Yeah.
It really is. That's why we love OU football right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I was just going to say, I really enjoy the band. I like that opening band when they're playing Boomer Sooner. That's exciting. And the chant, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, all of that. I mean, it's just, there is no other place to me like Oklahoma. I just really like it. Only one Oklahoma.
There is only one.
That reminds me, go look up the video Oklahoma football posted, this kind of hype video they made. It's on all their social medias. I'm sure you've seen it. The caption is "Clear eyes, full hearts, 2 weeks." So if you see that, you know you found the video. one of the best cinematic masterpieces
Cinematic
that you'll ever see.
Love the videos they come out with.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. My next question, one of my last ones, I think. We've only got about 5 minutes left here. The third quarter stuff they're doing now. Have we had a news break if they're doing this the same thing last year, or are they making the Toby Keith Memorial a little bit shorter? Do we have news on that?
I haven't seen anything.
So I like the idea, but I just think it was too long.
Yeah. I have not heard anything as far as changes goes. I think it was a great tribute to him.
Yeah, great tribute, and I was under the assumption that they wanted to keep doing it for the foreseeable future, but I thought personally it was too long, that they needed to make it a little bit shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think they would button that up a little bit, but it gets the crowd going. Speaking of getting the crowd going, the last CFP playoff game when we were at home with Alabama, magical, dude. They had the drones and special guests and all that kind of stuff. It was super hyped. I really hope we can make it back there this year because it was phenomenal. So if you have a chance to go this year, make it happen for sure.
That is one thing they do right, is the presentation.
Yeah.
I've got some more news from around Oklahoma, not football anymore as we sign this off. Abby Dayton has signed with the Knoxville Miracle to continue her softball career, so congratulations to Miss Dayton. Love pro softball, love the AUSL and the product they're putting out on the field. They just got done with their second season ever, coming up on their third before too long. So hoping for some more excellent growth there, which, man, it's just so much fun. For too long that there was no real pro softball for all those talented players to go and do. So I'm so happy that has changed nowadays, and they've got the MLB backing, and they're putting out something special. So shout out Miss Dayton there again. Awesome. Congratulations. Any breaking news? Any last things we want to touch on?
I did find this kind of funny. According to, I don't remember what his first name is, but according to Wetzel, thanks to the NCAA, the NFL waiver wire is the new National Signing Day. So I thought that was kind of funny.
It's pretty good. Some breaking news in the pro leagues. We'll mention this for a second. The 49ers owner has just been arrested. I won't go into the case here, but 49ers, man, I mean.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, just can't get out of their own way.
What an organization that
Neither
one is.
the Cowboys.
What an organization.
Oh, and Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He's starting.
So Brown's doing Browns things. Yeah. So we'll see.
I said it on a show a few weeks ago. He's going to be starting.
And Nick Chubb announced his retirement 2 days ago.
Gosh, he was a stud.
He was something pretty special. I read his post about it. It's a pretty good one, too. So I won't.
Yeah, he wasn't in the league that long.
No, it's 10, 11?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
He got a pretty decent season, but he was kind of like right there with a lot of other what feels like early retires,
Yeah,
right?
He was one of those guys that really helped that Browns team with Baker.
Hey, before we get off, I want a quick question. Are we going to have a bunch of OU fans in short shorts for Sandell this year? Are we going to see that? I did see Satania might have some shorter shorts, too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, it'll be another good year of kicking, hopefully, because he was phenomenal last year.
You know what? Give me a time and place, and I'll be out there in some short shorts.
Let's go. Come on. Let's start a movement.
Let's do it.
I'm so down.
We'll be up in the stands.
Yep.
All right, it's time to get out of here. We've been at the Interurban for today's show. This has been the OU special. Pretty fun show. I had a good time. Y'all had a good time?
I had a good time.
Had a good time. We're ready for some OU football. Thanks to the Interurban for hosting us out here. Again, a great local restaurant right out here in Yukon. Stop by. They're open until 9 p.m. tonight at 11316 West Reno Avenue. Go to interurban.us/Yukon or find them tagged in our Facebook Live video. They've also got their website on there as well. So great restaurant. We're going to order and then get out of here because we got some other stuff we need to take care of. I'll go ahead and give a plug. We'll be at Southwestern Christian tonight. You might see some volleyball on the station later on, but if not, I'm out there helping out. So shout out SU. Anything from y'all?
I mean, I don't really have much. Jonathan Godot that was on the call with us, he said thanks for having him, so we appreciate you, sir.
Awesome. And, yeah, I loved getting invited onto the show. Had a great time. Again, if you ever need anything, call me 405-728-1313. I would be honored to help you guys out in any way that I can with insurance. So,
and Blake's great. I mean, every time Daniel and I go by the office and hang out, every time Daniel and I go by the office and hang out, it's one of the highlights of the day for sure. Getting to come by and say hey. So stop by Blake's place, 7304 Northwest Expressway. He's got super friendly people in the office as well.
Yeah.
That team is also amazing. And that's just what it's all about, right? People helping people.
Absolutely. Look forward to hearing from you guys.
All right, and remember, volleyball at Tuttle tomorrow for Bethany High with a football coaches show around the same time. And then I'm working on a coaches show for Wednesday. We'll see you next time, folks. This has been the OU Special from the Interurban featuring Blake Nightingale on the Gospel Station Sports.